Welcome back to Diana Marie Home, where I share DIY, cooking from scratch, and creating cozy spaces on a budget in our 1800s farmhouse in upstate New York. Today I'm sharing my easy, no-wait sourdough discard breakfast wrap recipe. I know you're going to love this one. My main goal in sharing sourdough recipes here is to show how simple it can be. I think it can be made out to seem pretty complicated with weighing ingredients and waiting a certain time before you can do the next step, but really it doesn't have to be complicated, and there are some recipes that are just so simple, like this one, a breakfast wrap recipe made with sourdough discard. You can get the full recipe over on my blog, but let's make it together here first. So you can use either room temperature sourdough discard or straight from the fridge, but it is a little easier if it is room temperature. It makes it easier to spread. Start by letting your pan get nice and hot over a medium heat. I love using my cast iron pans, but any nonstick pan will work. Just melt some of your preferred oil. Here I'm using butter, but I also like to use avocado oil for this. And then just dump your sourdough discard right on the pan. I use about 1/4 cup, but it just depends on how big you want the wrap to be. And then you can use a spoon to spread it out into an oval or circle shape. You can see here I was kind of struggling to spread it. My discard was not at room temperature, so the closer to room temperature, the easier it will be to spread it. And also, if you let your pan heat up pretty good from the beginning, then it makes it easier to spread as well. Once you get your discard spread, which will be the wrap for your breakfast wrap, you can crack your egg right on top. So I like to make them with 1 egg, but if you're looking for a little added protein, you can definitely do 2. That's your preference. Once you have the egg cracked, I use a spatula to just kind of break the yolk apart a little bit and flatten the egg just so that it cooks more evenly. And then I add spices. I like to use a combination of thyme, salt, pepper, and garlic powder, but the possibilities are endless here. I also think some crushed red pepper would really be good in this as well if you like a little heat in your breakfast wrap. I give some more precise measurements over on the blog, but really this recipe is very flexible, which is something I really like about it. It really doesn't require much measuring. It's just based on your flavor preferences. So once you get those spices on there, you just wait for the egg to set up a bit. And this takes anywhere from about 2 to 3 minutes. You can see my egg kind of spilled over the wrap, and that's okay because you can just wait for that to cook and kind of flip it back over onto the wrap like I'm doing here. Every so often you want to use your spatula to check under the wrap just to make sure that it's not burning. You can see that the egg still hasn't set up, but the bottom is just starting to turn golden brown, which is what you're looking for. So I just wait a little while longer until it's a bit easier to flip the wrap. And once the bottom is golden brown and the egg is mostly set up, I just flip it over. If the egg kind of falls off the wrap, that's fine. Just flip the wrap onto the egg and it will all cook together. At this point, I usually turn the heat down just a bit and let it sit for anywhere from about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how cooked I want the egg. And then I grab my cheese and put some shredded cheese on top of the wrap. My favorite is sharp cheddar from a local creamery. It is so good and adds that extra flavor that makes this wrap so delicious, but you can use any cheese you like to this. At this point, your wrap is done and you're just waiting for the cheese to melt. You can eat it as is, open-faced, or you can fold it over into a wrap, whichever you prefer. I like mine folded with a little bit of ketchup, but it would also be good with hot sauce as well. I've also been making these ahead of time for my husband for his breakfast, and they're very easy to heat up just on the pan, or you could use a microwave as well. I haven't tried freezing them, but I also think that they would freeze well too. If you're looking for easy and healthy breakfast and have some sourdough discard on hand, definitely give this one a try. It's a huge hit here in my home, and I know you'll like it too. Be sure to check out the blog for more details about this recipe that is linked in the description of this video. And if you give this recipe a try, be sure to let me know what you think of it. Thanks for hanging out with me today in my kitchen, and I will see you in the next video.